Hey guys, it's Katie with S&B, and today we're going to install part number 75-5128 on the 2019 and up Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierra 5.3 and 6.2 liter. So let's get started. Please keep in mind that these videos are for reference purposes only. For the latest install instructions, you can always find this card or you can go to our website, sbfilters.com. With the parking brake engaged and the ignition turned off, disconnect the negative terminal on the battery. Next, we're going to have to remove the air diverter, but we're going to start by removing the hood latch and all these push pins. Once all of that's removed, you can just lift it out. Remove these two bolts securing the support brace. Now we need to remove this tube, so we'll start by removing this push clip and we'll set it aside because this one's unique. Now we're going to lift the tube as far as you can. You should be able to feel it disconnect from the airbox. Now we're going to remove the large wire harness from the OEM mounting bracket. We found it easiest to tilt back and pull up, and it should slide right off. Disconnect the push clip that's securing the large wire harness to the airbox. Remove the mass airflow sensor harness by pulling back on the red locking tab and pushing down. Disconnect the CCV tube on both ends. Now we need to remove the intake tube, and we're going to start by loosening the hose clamp near the throttle body. It is kind of hard to see, and then also the hose clamp next to the mass airflow sensor. Now we're going to disconnect the stock intake tube by pulling back on the bellows and then rotate it towards yourself until you feel it disconnect from the throttle body. And then you'll need to rotate it vertically to disconnect the pin. And then you can remove. So if you struggled with the intake tube like I did, you can always disconnect this bolt securing the bracket to the alternator, and then you can disconnect these zip ties and you can pull the entire bracket out that way. Disconnect the flange nut that's securing the airbox to the vehicle. Now we're going to remove the stock airbox from the vehicle, so we're going to tilt it up to get clearance from that stud. Now we're going to pull out to unseat the grommets and then rotate it and pull up. Now go find your S&B airbox and install the silicone inlet seal. Install the harness relocation bracket under the side of the airbox. Install the panel grommet and the shoulder washer into the airbox. Now you need to decide whether or not you want to install your silicone optional box plug. So in dusty environments or warmer temperatures, we suggest that you leave it installed to keep out any excess engine heat. So for maximum airflow, you can leave it uninstalled. With this one, you can install it from the inside or the outside of the airbox. Install the provided grommets onto the prongs. When installing your S&B airbox into the vehicle, just be careful not to lose these grommets. Once the airbox is fully seated in the vehicle, you're going to reinstall the flange nut that you removed earlier. Now we need to install the air inlet tube into the airbox, and it's easiest if you put one hand in the airbox to help you guide and then use the other one to push. Reinstall the unique push pin that you removed earlier and the support brace. Reinstall the air diverter, all the push pins, and the hood latch. Connect a large wire harness to the relocation bracket on the S&B airbox. Reconnect the push pin into the airbox. Using one of the provided push-in zip ties, you're going to want to loosely secure the mass airflow sensor harness to keep it away from any hot or moving parts. Remove the protective coating from both sides of the clear lid and the S&B logo. Install the clear lid into the snap-in lid seal. Now you can install your snap-in lid. It's easiest if you start with these two corners and then chase it around. Now you can install your choice of either cotton cleanable or dry extendable filter into your airbox. We find it easier to start from the bottom and work your way around. Now we're going to transfer the mass airflow sensor from the stock intake box to the S&B intake tube. Install the quick connect fitting onto the intake tube. Tighten it as far as you can by hand, and then take the wrench and turn it once. Install the coupler onto the intake tube, followed by the hose clamps. And you'll tighten down the larger one in the back, and you'll leave the one that attaches to the throttle body loose. Install the mass airflow sensor extension harness into the mass airflow sensor, and then install the push-in zip tie. And then you'll want to loop it to keep it away from any hot or moving parts. Install the intake tube on the throttle body first. And make sure it's all the way on, and then it should align right into the filter. Once the intake tube's installed, you can tighten down the hose clamps on the throttle body and the air filter. You can also attach the mass airflow sensor harness and tighten down the zip ties. Now you're going to find the fuel hose, and you're going to take the right angle quick connect and the straight quick connect. So with the fuel hose, the curve pointing forward, take the right angle, place it up. I'll take the straight and place it on your right side. And then you'll tighten down the hose clamps. Install the CCV hose into the vehicle. The straight end will attach to the OEM, and the 90 degrees will attach to the S&B intake tube. One of the benefits of this intake is the easy filter change. So all you have to do is loosen the hose clamp on the throttle body, the one on the filter, disconnect the mass airflow sensor, rotate up, and then it should just pop right out. All right, that's it. So the installation is pretty easy, but if you have any other questions or you just want to know more, you can always go to our website or you can give us a call, and I'll see you next time. After installing your new intake on your 2019 Silverado or Sierra, we recommend disabling your air filter life monitor only because it's going to read differently, and a manual check is always better. So this is how you do it. With the engine turned on, scroll over to the settings and then to the info page options and make sure that the air filter life is checked. And then back over to the info page and scroll to find it. And once you found air filter life, you can click disable.